going to present our very first award for this evening. It's for a young lady who's, I've known her for quite a while now. I've known her for I think about 3 years now. And met her first as a guest on my radio show, Africa4u. She has her fingers in so many pies. Magazines, modeling, fashion, so many. Sometimes I lose track, and she's very, very, very hard-working behind the scenes. So I see her as an unsung hero in our community. Her name is FL Gondiwe Alaka. Please give her a big hand for this. Really proud of all the great work you've done in the community. I'm sure the audience are dying to know a lot about Zambian Magazine, the Zambia online TV station. You're a performing artist also. You've also helped me. You've put me on TV several times. She does so much behind the scenes. Give her another round of applause.
Thank you. Wow. It's really, really weird because even if I was expecting this, it still feels like a big surprise. And so, Tony, I just want to say thank you so much for this. It really means the world to me because I really look up to you. You have done so much to not just help me, but everybody else that I know, whether on social media, people I've mingled with. You've been there for them, pushing them forward, you know, and I can see the passion that you use towards that, and I just want everyone to please give Tony just a huge round of applause for this initiative. Wow, Africa4u Outstanding Achievement 2015. What can I say? Whew, I'm a bit nervous. I'm just really grateful, you know, obviously for Tony and for everybody coming tonight. And as he said, I started off as a performing artist actually, and that's how come years later found myself in this position. I'll give you kind of a brief so you can briefly understand where I'm coming from. As a performing artist, I used to pay a lot of attention on the news and what's going on, you know, with other artists, especially particularly the ones in America. And I discovered that some of them would go bankrupt, you know, they would have money issues, and I didn't understand. And I had such a passion to want to write songs and really be out there, but I was like, well, if I want to do it, how am I going to not end up like them, you know, and be bankrupt? Like, I don't want that, you know. And so I basically took a journey to start working for record labels. I literally went to the job center and demanded that I want a job in the music industry, and they laughed at me. And I was like, look, this is how it's going to be. It's either you help me find a job within the music industry so I can learn about the industry, or I'm going to be coming back every 2 months because I'll hate every job you give me, and I'll be quitting. And so, lo and behold, and you know, God is really great. About 3 weeks later, I got a letter from the job center where a record label, an independent record label, were looking for an administrator. And I went there for my interview. It just so happened in that interview they were actually auditioning people, which was a very surreal situation to be in because I knew I wanted to be a singer. Then I had to already judge other singers, but apparently I managed to give really good feedback, and before I knew it, I was hired the very same day. About 3-4 weeks later, I actually became a manager because I was literally working so hard. They said, you know what, I don't think administrator is good enough for you. I think we want you to help us manage the entire establishment. So that's kind of the long and the short of it. And from that, basically, I noticed, obviously, after now getting into the industry, I found out that it's really, really tough. Really, really tough. It was not easy back then to find people who can help you the way people can help you today. And so that's when I embarked on starting my own company based on the knowledge from the record label called Africa4u Productions. With Africa4u Productions, I utilized that not just to help myself, brand myself as an artist, but also to help other artists as well, you know, to help them get out there, to help them understand what it means to be branded, to help them understand the business side of the music industry, because in as much as I like singing, for me it's a bit of a catch-22. I'm not really a big thing on the fame side of things. I just want to sing and enjoy and be on stage, and then afterwards pretty much go home. You know, that's me all around. And so the business side of it became a big thing for me, and also coming from a background where my dad is a businessman, is an entrepreneur back home, I had basically attachment to that and had knowledge of that, and I went to school for that. And so I kind of utilized that to try and help other artists, and from that people started approaching me for other different things, which at the time even I didn't know I had the skill set for. Before I knew it, I was starting a beauty pageant. Later on, I found myself starting an online magazine. So currently I'm the owner for the Global Zambian magazine. So if anyone wants to check it out, you can go online and actually find it. And then on top of that, I'm actually now working towards starting my own online TV channel. So the gentleman that you're seeing filming there, Lorenzo, you just wave at everyone, answering your phone. We're filming this and hope that we'll obviously be able to showcase it on the Global Zambian magazine TV, which is slowly starting and I'm hoping to grow. And my reason for doing all of these things is, you know, pretty much a lot of what has been discussed tonight. When I started the Global Zambian magazine, I knew that I wanted to be global, to include everybody, but at the same time, I wanted to include a lot of content from Zambia. And so I literally went on Facebook and started looking for people to help me out. And lo and behold, I was really surprised. A lot of people actually applied to write for the magazine. Before I knew it, I had 10 writers from Zambia. I've never met any single one of them, but through social media and communicating via WhatsApp, we created a virtual office where we would communicate, and I would communicate with companies in Zambia and send them on stories. They got to experience things which even I wish I could experience if I was in Zambia, you know? And that's how come the Global Zambian magazine started, and that inspired me into looking further into how I can create more employment in Zambia, and that's how the TGZ TV came about, because the plan is I want to be able to be in a position to have cross-culture communication. And you know, when we've got things like Sky, Virgin, things like that, we can be all excited about the programs that we watch here, but we can't really discuss them with people back home because they don't watch exactly what we watch, and vice versa. And I thought, oh, that's kind of frustrating, because sometimes I do want to kind of share, you know, have some kind of common ground apart from just American programs. And so TGZ TV basically is a means of being able to have content from not just Zambia, but other parts of Africa, to be showcased on TGZ TV, and also content from here to see what people in the diaspora are actually doing, they're actually achieving, and people have an opportunity to actually watch it online without the restrictions of licensing that normal TV stations have. And so that's where I'm at today. I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I don't always love to be in the front every time. When it calls for it, I will be there. But I do a lot of behind the scenes. Everything that you'll see if you go on any of my website, I sit down, I do the website myself. I speak to people mostly myself. I design logos, I design flyers. That's also part of my services, Africa4u Production. So I'm very much hands-on, and I'm still growing. You know, I'm not wealthy or anything like that. I'm still growing, and I'm just grateful because you know, I became born again about a couple of years ago, and I'm truly beginning to understand my vision for what God wants me to do. And you know, right now I feel He is leading me in the right path in order to be able to give back to the community. And on the give back thing, about I think 2 years ago now, I started a charity. It's just basically online called Give Back, Give with Heart. I started this because I used to go to the library all the time, and like I think the lady said, she see homeless people. I used to see homeless people all the time, and because I was always in such a hurry and I'm just in the library, I just read with books with nothing else, I used to feel so bad whenever I had to kind of walk past them. And so I thought, you know what, why can't we just be able to just give back, just for the sake of it? And by that, you know, not making a big hoo-ha about it on Facebook, a big hoo-ha about it on Twitter or anything like that. Just, you know, when you feel like you check out your neighbor, see, do they need help someday? It might be an old lady that can't even clean their house properly. And even as much as there's social services and that, sometimes they're quite lacking in their jobs, you know. And so sometimes even your next door neighbor, it doesn't take much, really and truly, you know, to think about it. How much time do you spend on Facebook sometimes just chatting away? That 1 hour, you could have gone to your neighbor and just checked up on them. You know, we're in a country where people can die and no one will know for a week. You know, and I think it's really important, whatever it is that you feel you can be able to do, even if you see an old lady across the road, you're going somewhere, you know, so what if you're 1 minute, 2 minutes late from work? What's the worst that can happen, really and truly? You know, and that's why Give Back, Give with Heart is there. And it's just basically right now it's a blog so that people can be able to share their stories, you know, people can write into Give Back, Give with Heart and just whatever it is that they're feeling, you know, even if they're feeling down, there can be someone maybe to respond to that and just encouraging each other and just really, you know, showing love for one another the way I believe God wants us to show love for one another. Thank you.
Please give her another round of applause.